It's the last day in the month of March 2023, and we are back here on the Newspaper Review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabule, and you are welcome to this program. Right here, we bring you the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria, and we love to do that. We also love to have you participate by dropping your comments and the reactions on the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about some of the headlines we'll be discussing here in a very short while you stay with us. Well, to do the headlines with me is Victor Sioku. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. It's the last day of the month of March, and it's also a Friday. Hope we are done well. Hope we, feel impressed with the first quarter. A lot of challenges. Elections took place in this first quarter. Money crunch. And of course, we have a new president, new governors all over, new House of Reps. Everything new for Nigerian politics and our leaders also. Hope your first quarter was not as dramatic as mine. It was full of so much drama, but we survived it. As Nigerians, we are strong and we are survivors.
Yeah.
Every Nigerian deserves an accolade, as we always say it here, because it's not really easy being one. All right, without wasting time, let's begin to look into the headlines on the newspapers. Let's see what has happened within the last 24 hours and what the papers are saying. We'll begin with this day newspaper for today, 31st day in the month of March. And on this day here, we have as headline from the top. Let's start from the top. It says, full year 2022, UBA delivers strong result as profit hits 201 billion naira. Declares 90 kobo final dividend. Total assets rise by 27.2%. All right, moving on to other headlines here. We see DMO, new borrowings. Promissory notes orders push Nigeria's public debt to 46.25 trillion naira. Page 10 is where you will get details of that story. All right. Donald Trump indicted by Manhattan grand jury may face over 30 counts of business-related fraud. Former U.S. president fires back, says it's witch hunt that will backfire massively on Joe Biden. All right, page 5 is where you get details of the story. Agbakoba, no constitutional provision for interim government. It's nonsense. It's an idea not feasible under Buhari, says Lalong. CD dismisses it as unwarranted, unnecessary, subversive. DSS report is fake. Plot to arrest Atiku, Obi alleges. Frank alleges Frank. All right. That is all the headline here. We also see a very beautiful picture of Governor Shawolu and his dear wife, and that of the deputy too of Lagos State, holding on to their certificate of return to office. All right, let's begin to delve into some of the stories here. Let's go for it this time around. Donald Trump is back on the headlines. He loves to make the news, and this time around, it's coming back on allegations of fraud from many faces. And in that manner, we also have the one where they said his lawyer paid some money to some porn stars and all of that. So much controversy surrounding the man, Donald Trump. And let's not also forget that he's already planning to come back for a rerun for the presidential office. But all of these are beginning to pop up before all of that. What do you think is going on?
Okay, before I start in details, one will now be like, Donald Trump getting indicted.
Yes.
Donald Trump will be appearing in court on Tuesday, next week, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you just wonder how can that be? Okay? So, but remember, Nigeria is copying this democratic dispensation or times from the US, okay? And they are, to my own understanding, showing good example, and they know the world is watching, okay? I think Nigeria, we started, will I say, on a good slate, but before you know it, the Nigerian factor or the black man factor happened, that you cannot even question the president. But in the US, you see countless times where the president has been questioned. Okay, the Donald Trump, yes, we know that Donald Trump is very controversial, because he is also the first American to be impeached
Yeah.
twice, not once but twice. But yes, the Senate did not second it. Okay. In the Nigerian space, just imagine taking the president, one of our old presidents, to court. My brother,
or Jonathan, they all hell will let loose.
The tribal connotation, the tribal friction that will happen if that happens comes to fruition, my brother. Oh my God. So, what happened? He asks. Before Donald Trump became the president, in 2006, he allegedly had an affair with Stormy Daniels. Okay? Now, the lady is well known to be a porn star. But before the election, before 2016, it was alleged that Donald Trump, through his lawyer, paid Daniels, that's the porn star, paid her $130,000 to close her mouth, because she wanted to come out and open up the news that during the affair, her own is not just that they had an affair, but she is saying that the affair wasn't right, that there were some elements of violence and she was not treated well, in quotes, okay? So, one will ask, having an affair, how does it concern the Constitution? Okay? By morality, one will say he's wrong. Okay? Then, mind you, he was married.
The law?
Was he breaking the law? I think I'll come down to that point. Okay. By morality, you say, okay, he just got married. After a year, he had an affair while in marriage. Now, the issue is not that he had an affair. The issue is that he paid her that hush money, allegedly. Paid her the hush money through the lawyer. Mind you, at first, the lawyer was the one that used his own money to pay her off for her to keep quiet. Then Trump, refunding the money to the lawyer, tagged the money as a legal fee and not a hush money. So that is the issue now. That Donald Trump has lied by business ethics, that he has lied to the federal, let me even trickle it down to New York, where that incident happened. And in New York, that is a crime. When you declare a payment, forcefully declare a payment, it is a crime. So that is where they are holding him. But some persons have come out to say that the Democrats, that's Biden, they are fighting Trump so that he doesn't come out to run for the president. And so far, by the people that have announced that they want to run, he seems to be number one on the top. Okay. Yes, there are still let's say news about Mike Pence, his former VP, coming out, and some other heavyweight, but it still looks like, see, he will give them more for their money.
He would have had a better chance, if he makes it there.
Yes. So, well, by Tuesday, I can't imagine Trump coming out, taking a mugshot and all those preparations, having his fingerprint and coming to court. Man, well, that's so much use for the media.
Yes,
that's so much use for the media.
And you know, he has always been this man that really doesn't like media attention, because you hear him say all the time, it's fake news, it's fake this, fake that. But this time around, it's not fake. It is real, and I hope he's going to handle himself better. And then bringing this whole, happening, putting it side by side with what happens here in Nigeria, I wish our government will learn the good things, the right things from these kind of scenarios.
This is just a small matter for me.
Yes,
it's very tiny matter compared to what
to the things our people do here, to the things our leaders do here.
Age fortification.
This is little. This is so little compared to what our leaders do here. In the U.S. government, people can even be indicted for sending mails and deleting them. As a government official, you're sending mails and you delete them. What are you concealing? You could be indicted for all of that. But in Nigeria, mail what? Mail what? And people do things with so much impunity, and it doesn't really count. But yet, we copy the same democracy we're adopting from countries like the US and most of the Western, countries. We take the ones that are convenient for us. The ones that are not convenient for us, we ignore them. Like what's going on now, that an ex-president is being indicted and is going to be taken to court. He's going to be taken to the court by policemen. They are going to take mugshot of him. He's going to put his fingerprint. That means he has been, been to the station. He has a police case running. But in Nigeria, that can never happen. These men will go out of their way to want to stop it. It brings me to Ikwe Madu's case too. If that had happened in Nigeria, the rest assured that he would still be in the Senate doing his biddings, and nobody will even talk, because here, no, all men are equal, but yet all men are not still equal. That's how it works here.
A whole lot of, will I say, bad governance, bad leadership happening every sector of the government. Okay, mind you, just like you stated, the police will go.
They were squatting.
Oh my goodness. Just imagine the current president-elect, our president-elect. Mind you, before the election, the statement that he made, even just by the statement that he made about elections, that you need to take it by force.
Yeah, that's already an indictment.
That is enough.
Enough, because you were, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of inciting comments have been made over time, and the DSS and security agencies that are supposed to be responsible for quelling such insightful statements have not been doing their job properly, I'm afraid, because both recently, you hear, last week it was Panika Ede that was in the news. He was just spilling,
blabbing,
saying all sorts. But now we hear Festus Keyamo on one end saying, oh, DSS should go after the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Ahmed Dati, that he has made a comment that is beginning to that is beginning to align with the so-called interim government that is in the air now, and all of that it should be picked up. But then, just before then, a whole lot more has been said that are quite insightful. But I'm sure Nigerians are more hungry. Nigerians are much more, depressed and trying to keep their feet and their head up,
like a living,
instead of going after what politicians want, because they're trying to incite Nigerians to get on the street, cause mayhem, and of course they will take control of those kind of situations and cause more problems for us. But at this time, they have so impoverished Nigerians, they have so pushed Nigerians to the world, and Nigerians are not even listening to them. It's more like, Shebi, the country belongs to just a few of you. Do with it whatever you want. You can kill yourselves up there and tell yourselves about, who is talking and who is not supposed to talk, but we are not going to move for you. We are hungry. Food will not give us to go and work for you. But so let's try to survive. So it's a tough time, but I wish that Nigerian government and Nigerians that were our leaders would learn some of the right thinking things that we see from the Westerners, like this case of Donald Trump. It's amazing. It's strange to us Nigerians that this is happening, that they're going to actually arrest Donald Trump at some point next week, and he's going to be in court in the witness box talking about himself in trial. And then it's surprising to some of us, because that the day that one will happen, it's close to when Jesus will come back.
Then, lastly, notice that they've served him papers, and he has received it. In Nigeria, to even serve paper,
no, you can't
to serve paper to a politician is an issue. As in, you cannot even find a politician. You not be asking, they will frustrate you to even
court injunction to stop you from doing that.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to our next paper for the day, and that will be the Daily Sun newspaper. Then let's see the headlines right there on the Daily Sun newspaper. We see here as headline: Nigerians in U.S. secure permit to protest over February 25th election. Interim government allegation ploy to arrest opposition. Atiku. challenges DSS to name those behind plot. Count us out, says LP. Such plan will be major setback, Agbakoba. We also see here as headline on the Daily Sun newspaper, APC petitions NBC over Baba Ahmed's no president-elect comment. All right. Other headlines on the Daily Sun newspaper. See here, Sanwo-Olu, Mba, Abiodun, Mufwang, Aliyu wave olive branch as more governors, lawmakers-elect received certificates. We also see here, we did not issue sit at home in Lagos. IPOB, Southeast elders take attack on Igbo to international communities. Page 29 is where you will get details of that story. And then we'll take this last one. It says here, alleged vote buying. Supreme Court dismisses ex-minister's suit against Tinubu Atiku. Page 26. Page 28, I beg your pardon, is where you find details of that story. All right, now let's deal with the story of the interim government matter. On Daily Sun, it's carried as interim government allegation ploy to arrest opposition. Atiku is crying and shouting that, oh, this is a ploy by the ruling government, the APC, to arrest opposition parties. But why, worry? Why raise an alarm if nothing is, around you, if you don't have your hands in all of this? Why Obi is not even talking about it? He knows that there's no way they will rope him against it because he has come out with his hands really clean. But that notwithstanding, the kind of government we have, the Nigeria that we're in, anything is possible. But we've also seen people like Agbakoba say that the Constitution does not have room or does not give room for an interim government. What's your reaction concerning this story?
Like I said yesterday with Cyril, I don't see it as something that the DSS are. I think they are just coming out to make statements just so that they get noticed. My 2 cents on that, okay? Because the times are ending for most of these office holders, okay? We're heading to the new government and many of them will be changed. So it's a period of trying to sell out themselves, just like what happened yesterday, where the Abia State governor, for the first time in a long while, coming out to see the press, to talk with the press. We saw the interview where he was dishing out his scorecards. Okay, so that it will not look like he did not do anything, that he's a failure. But we saw it during the election. It was also glaring that the people were not for you because of your antecedents, because of the way you managed the almost 8 years that you were governor. So you are coming out to now say agents of propaganda. Which agents of propaganda? When you go to Abia State and you go to Ebonyi State, you will see the huge difference in development. Are you telling me that Ebonyi is richer than Abia State?
No.
Are you telling me that IGR is higher in Ebonyi than in Abia State? My brother, these are things that, okay, so going back to the these guys are trying ways to showcase their markets.
That
okay?
If
you check out from what is happening, even most Nigerians have moved on. The interview that Cyril covered the other day, you found out that most Nigerians have moved on with Tinubu elect. Oh, yeah, now.
Let them take.
The other one say, I hope that God will help him. Let him change the the economy.
That's how it is.
So
Nigerians have moved on. Yes, they have moved on.
Okay.
The only people that are still in the same election spirit are the winners and the losers. Not even all of them, just a few of them that will not easily let go. That of Obi of the Labour Party, one would say, okay, because of the close call for him, he would really want to contest it. But he's not doing it with such a force. But he's sharp going to the courts, following procedures and ensuring that, the courts say yes or no to him. But most Nigerians, most ordinary Nigerians, they've left that matter since. They said, okay, these politicians are not going to repent. Let them handle things the way we've known them to always handle it. That's what they're doing. So now they are going after themselves.
And if you check, some persons might be like, somebody quoted about Kenya. What is happening in Kenya might happen in Nigeria. See, these are two different avenues, majorly two different avenues. Yes, you might just get some traits, one or two traits attached to it. Why am I saying this? Because in Kenya, if I can just do a little bit of history, well, not so far ago, in August of last year, when Ruto came in, when they had their election, August of last year, and Ruto won Odinga that has been attempting it for like 5 times. Yeah. Odinga, sorry, Mr. Odinga, if you're watching us. Odinga, when you associate him with Atiku and who is that American president that came after the 5th time? Is it Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
So I associate them as strong-willed people, okay? Yeah. But Odinga's influence in Kenya, one might question it because it has happened over the years that even in when was that? Is it 2011 that over 1,000 persons died because of the election, the conflict that happened, post-election conflict that happened. Okay, but right now, why are Kenyans even protesting? They are not really protesting because of Ruto. They are protesting because of hardship.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? And that might just be it, and not just interim government for Nigeria. That might just be it, because when Ruto came in, he removed fuel subsidy. Just like what might happen. Okay, Buhari has said, okay, from June, no more subsidy. But do you know that they might watch the atmosphere, knowing that, I mean the APC, knowing that the people are against them, people don't like them. They might be like, oh, let's not add more poverty to these people. Let's still dwell on the fuel subsidy regime. Let's continue with the fuel subsidy regime. Yeah. Unlike in Kenya, they removed, Ruto came in, removed subsidy for petrol, for fuel, also remove subsidy for maize. And maize is a very, very important crop over there in Kenya. Right here in Nigeria is mainly rice. So it really affected them, and they are out there on the street. Their inflation, say, when you start comparing it to Nigeria, their inflation is about 9.5 against us around 19. Yeah. Okay, and when you even come to which other factor? Interest rate, the interest rate is still around 9 to 10%. Okay, so collecting loans from them, for them, is very high at 9 to 10%. But in Nigeria, collecting loan, yes, they mentioned our own is around 18.5%. Yeah. Okay, but by the time you go to even the bank, the normal bank that you will not go through different kinds of, they will tell you go and bring this.
You bring your grandfather's name. There's nothing they cannot ask you to bring.
At the end of the day, you might even shoot to 25%. Yes. In some cases, some other desperate banks and the loan sharks and loan apps, they might hit you like 30%.
Yes, so very true.
I just pray that come May 29th, anything that happens, okay? Yeah, one might also be will I say hopeful. Some Nigerians might be hopeful that the judiciary might come through for them. Okay, well,
but if that doesn't happen, please,
that, yes,
we need to be able to, give our support to whichever candidate at the end of the day is remaining or coming in as our president, because we have only one place to call our home, which is this one. And if we scatter it, we're all going to be refugees. That is, we manage to make it out alive. Yes. You're going to be refugees. Your children are going to be refugees in another man's country. So it is very important that Nigerians, we look after ourselves and make sure that the right things are being done. It's a tough call, but it is possible. All right, we're going to take a short break. Once we come back, we're going to be looking at our last paper for today here on the News Super Review. You stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey there. Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, you're welcome back from that short break. We're still here on the Newspaper Review. If you haven't dropped your comment yet, please do well to drop it on the comment section. And of course, subscribe to this channel. Click on the subscribe button and of course the notification key, because that's how you will get notified whenever I come up with a new episode of this program. We've taken two papers. Let's go into our last paper for the day, and that will be Nigerian News Direct. On Nigerian News Direct here, the headlines read, second term re-election victory, Abiodun Sanwo-Olu to exceed expectation of electorate. Dabasco speaking there, and page 22 is where you find details of that story. Move on to the main headline. It says PDP launches reconciliation versus suspension of Fayose. AIM orders suspends investigation of Autumn by disciplinary committee. Calls for synergy in Atiku's battle to reclaim lost election bid. Next 4 years will be more rewarding. Sanwo-Olu declares as governor. Deputy pick INEC certificates. We also see here Engineer Dom Okafor pays courtesy visit to Special Education Center for Deaf and Dumb, Umuchu. You see that story on page 4 of Nigerian News Direct. For me, the main story here is that of the PDP launching a reconciliation move and also reversing suspension of Fayose, AIM, and orders. What's the reaction to the PDP?
They know they are losing grounds, and they don't give any major respect about their constitution any longer. Because why would they be calling them back? On what ground? On what constitution? When you are using, that's the problem we have in this our country. You set laws. You are the same national working committee and state working committee will be the one that will break the law. Okay, so what have they also done? The ward, the Igorov ward, that's in Benue State that suspended IU. The state working committee has now suspended the ward schools. See, PDP, they are sinking, and sinking so fast. So they are just trying to let those numbers that they have, let them not just lose everybody. So they are trying to call back everybody. The new interim chairman is trying, I believe he just came in now to say, okay, please come, I don't want to lose you guys. Let's work together, Man, at the end of the day, man, for me,
are you seeing them surviving this one?
No. I don't see them surviving. But that might also be what will the Labour Party come up with, because it's now becoming to look like Nigeria is going to be running on one party system. That's the APC.
No, well, I don't think so. If the PDP is having, this is my take though, if the PDP is having so much crisis and maybe they are really on a downturn and some of the big wigs like Governor Wike and a few of them begins to move, maybe change party, there might just be a coalition between them and the Labour Party. The Labour Party has really gained a lot of recognition, and I'm not talking about Obi.
The obedient.
I'm not talking about the obedient coalition. I'm talking about the Labour Party in itself. We already know that the PDP has structure all over the country. They are not, making a lot of moves, or they've not been able to grab a lot about this time. But it doesn't remove the fact that they are the second strongest force currently in our political space. So if they can, revive the party by having a coalition with a party like the Labour Party that has recently become some force to reckon with, they might still have a face. Because this is exactly what happened to the APC, or the AC as at that time. But then, was it AD or AC? It was AC.
AC.
Yeah, AC. And then they now had a coalition with about 2 other parties, and this is where they are today. I don't see that impossibility here taking place.
But for Labour Party, can't you see that without the obedience, Labour Party will not be anywhere?
Yeah, so obedience are the Labour Party.
But the obedience most obedience out there don't want to associate themselves even with the Labour Party. Talk more of when you now add PDP to the Labour Party.
And
my
none of
brother,
them
they will
move.
just pull out. Are you seeing it from that angle too?
That's also there. That's also there. So yeah, but then that would mean that like the PDP. That what I wanted to say next. It's almost impossible because these politicians have never changed over the years. They are the same set of people, the same style of doing things. I mean, look at this election. It was a very clear sign that our politicians will never change. They are still the same guys doing the same things over and over again. They master the art of doing things the wrong way every time. All right, I'm afraid that's where we're going to draw the curtains for today. I want to thank you so much, Victor, for coming to the program. And to our viewers, thank you for staying with us up till this time here on the New Super Review. Make sure to drop your comments and tell us how you feel about some of the headlines we have discussed with you here on the program. Until next time, I'll come your way again. My name is William Zabule, and this has been the New Super Review here on TAP TV.